Kia ora, Talofa, Malele, Bula, Aloha and welcome to Season 10, Episode 13 of Breakfast Bites by TEIVOVOdigital.com. A wrap of Pasifika People's sports news on Sunday morning, 14 July 2024. Where it is mostly clear and a cold 20 degrees Celsius at 5 a.m. Coming to you with tons of hanisi from the 180th meridian in the middle of the blue continent. In Rugby Union, Flying Wallabies Wing Filipo Daugunu scored twice for the Wallabies 36-28 win as Rob Valentini, the reigning John Eales medalist, proved the powerhouse his team needed in both attack and defense in front of 21,932 fans showing up at a cold, wet and windy AAMI Park. Other results for this weekend: USA went down to Scotland 42-7, Canada beat Romania 35-22, Samoa beat Spain 34-30, New Zealand beat England 24-17, Georgia beat Japan 25-23, Ireland pipped South Africa 25-24, and Italy, of course, 36-14 over Tonga in Nukualofa. And today we tip Argentina to Puma, France. In Rugby League, a scintillating first half from the Dragons set up a 30-26 victory at Suncorp Stadium last night against the Broncos, whose season is now hanging by a thread. St. George Illawarra are back inside the top 8, while Brisbane have lost 6 games in a row for the first time since their wooden spoon season in 2020. And they sit languishing in 13th. Kevin Walters' side, who played in the 2023 Grand Final, will need to win 6 of their final 7 games to play finals. In football, Gareth Southgate says he is not a believer in fairy tales, but a believer in dreams, as the England boss attempts to mastermind a historic European Championship final win against Spain. The Spaniards stand in their way of becoming kings of the continent for the first time, having lost their first European final in heartbreaking fashion against Italy at Wembley in 2021. Our world-famous tips for the grand finals of the Copa America at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami: Argentina to crunchy granola Colombia, and in the Euro 2024 at Olympia Stadium in Berlin, we tip Spain to Esposito, England. At Wimbledon, Czech tennis star Barbora Krejcikova beat Italian Jasmine Paolini in 3 sets to win the 2024 Wimbledon women's title overnight. And get this, Krejcikova does not have a full-time coach after sacking her last one in July last year. At Wimbledon, she does not stay in the official hotel, preferring instead to stay with a local family, as she has done for the past decade. Krejcikova is due to team up with Katerina Siniakova for the Paris Olympics, as the pair seeks to defend its doubles title from Tokyo. In combat sports, the main contender now for Alex Pereira's UFC light heavyweight belt is the Russian Magomed Ankalaev, who hasn't lost since a last-second submission from Paul Craig in his debut. He's currently riding an unbeaten run that extends over 12 fights with a draw and a no contest. Alternatively, the Brazilian could move up to heavyweight and challenge John Jones. In the Olympic Games, a 2024 University of Oxford study estimates that since 1960, the average cost of hosting the Olympic Games has been triple the bid price. The 1976 Summer Olympics in Montreal had an initial projected cost of US $124 million. But construction delays and cost overruns for a new stadium saddled the city's taxpayers with US $1.5 billion in debt that took nearly 3 decades to pay off. Los Angeles was the only city to bid for the 1984 Summer Olympics, allowing it to negotiate exceptionally favorable terms with the IOC. Most importantly, Los Angeles was able to rely almost entirely on existing stadiums and infrastructure rather than promise lavish new facilities to entice the IOC selection committee. That, combined with a sharp jump in television broadcast revenue, made Los Angeles the only city to turn a profit hosting the Olympics, finishing with a US $215 million operating surplus. LA's success led to a rising number of cities bidding, from 2 for the 1988 Games to 12 for the 2004 Games. Countries such as China, Brazil, and Russia were eager to use the Games to demonstrate their progress on the world stage. However, these countries lacked the necessary infrastructure, so costs spiraled to over US $50 billion for the 2014 Winter Games in Sochi, US $20 billion for 2016 Summer Games in Rio de Janeiro, and a reported US $39 billion for the 2022 Winter Games in Beijing, although China said the Games cost just $4 billion US. And in the NBA, build him a statue, New York Knicks teammate Josh Hart tweeted after news broke that Jalen Brunson left potentially over US $100 million on the table to continue to be the marquee man at Madison Square Garden. Brunson agreed on Friday to a 4-year US $156.5 million extension, the team announced. If Brunson, 27, had waited until next summer for free agency, he could have inked a 5-year contract worth about US $270 million. And that's a wrap, peeps. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons below if you want to receive more Pasifika sports highlights on Breakfast Bites. Mahalo and kakite for TEIVOVOdigital.com. I'm Karan Kamea, thanking you all too much for all your love and support.